Ever wanted to learn a little bit about Greek mythology, but you're too busy gaming? Well, do I have the perfect game for you. This is Immortals Fenyx Rising. Don't go away. So Immortals Fenyx Rising I'm going to dive a little bit back into how this game was made because this is a little bit interesting. To start, it's a Ubisoft game, which you may know is a warning sign to usually not play that game. But this was surprisingly well reviewed after it released, which kind of got my attention.
This is weird.
Not only because Ubisoft was making it was the warning sign, but this game literally had a title change like late in development because it was originally called Gods and Monsters. Now the story you may have guessed from the intro is Greek mythology. It's told from the story of Zeus and Prometheus, and they narrate over the story as you play as this mortal phoenix, and it's great. It's absolutely great. Ubisoft absolutely utilized the Greek mythology that is out there 100% to their advantage.
Do you recognize Callisto, Zeus?
She was such a vivacious woman. Too bad Hera turned her into a bear.
Yes. Almost as bad as you tricking Callisto.
Whether you know about Greek mythology or you don't, you are going to quite really enjoy the story, I think. The game is an open world game as you'd expect, and it is broken up into 4 major quadrants with a couple like little small ones out there. But all the gods are gone. You know, Typhon, the super demon guy, has come and he has just thrown down the land. So you have to get the gods back to their normal form.
Oh! The goddess of wisdom! The prophecy!
You start with Aphrodite, and then you go to Ares, Athena, and then Hephaestus. After you get all 4 gods, you go and defeat Typhon. That is quite literally the story in a nutshell here. And as I did say, it is open world, AAA tile game. A lot of those kind of games you see a lot these days, and they generally play the same, but they almost always have differences within them. So let's break some of the open worldness down here. Combat and puzzles are the 2 major things that you'll be doing throughout this game. Combat is great. It's not elite level. A lot of this game's gameplay, like mechanically, is really good, but it never hits that next level of I love it. You have 2 main forms of attack. Light and heavy. That is just the basic that almost every game is to. Although it is completely lopsided in this game. Because you see, stamina plays a huge part because stamina is linked to your special abilities that do a big amount of damage. The only way to get stamina back in this game, I will give credit to it, is stamina potions, but if you don't have a stamina potion, you only get stamina back through sword attacks, your fast attack. And I gotta be honest, I've never seen a game make it so you get your stamina back by attacking. It's always either wait and do nothing until your stamina gets there, or that's about actually every system I've ever seen. So huge props to the game here for creating a pretty interesting system that doesn't, incentivize sitting around until your bar goes back up. But that pretty much makes the heavy attack, aka the axe, absolutely freaking useless. Because the axe does do something that the sword doesn't do. It gives stun bonuses, and when an enemy is fully stunned, that's when they're knocked on their ass and you can just do whatever you want. It's just stun and stamina is completely lopsided. Stamina is way more resourceful and you could use it for so many more things. So I really never ever really use the axe that much. Now your specials that use up a good chunk of stamina, which is why you need stamina always on demand, they're pretty cool. They're based off of the 4 gods. You have Hephaestus' hammer, which was good.
Fucking bad hammer.
You have the Ares spear one, which I didn't really use a lot of. You have the Phoenix one, which just shoots fireballs from the sky, which sounded really cool. You can pick up rocks and throw them, or my favorite one of them all is Athena's dash.
I got your back!
Now again, all of these are really cool, really great, utilized well in combat, but it never really hit that, next tier level. Like, you couldn't combine things. It's always Athena's Dash or Fisto's Hammer were the two best options for me, and that's just really what it was. You can dodge and parry in this game, and they're both of equal value in my opinion. Dodging, getting a perfect dodge will slow down time for a little bit, opening up a window of attack, and parrying will also open up a window of attack, but it is harder to pull off. But the bonus you get, because it is harder, is you get stun bonus. And I also want to give a shout out to the combo meter for being actually useful in this game. Every game I've played with a combo meter, it's just the number. Like, it doesn't actually influence or affect any gameplay. But actually, the higher your combo is here in this game, the more damage you do. So you really are, like, looking to get that 100 combo.
Oh. Get fucked. Dude, I'm blocking everything here! God damn.
Now, while you're not in combat, the majority, and actually way more majority than I would have expected going into this game, is spent doing puzzles. This game is a puzzle-based game above all. Most of the puzzles you'll do will be in the Vault of Tartarus, and you might be thinking, well, what is in the Vault of Tartarus? What's the point of doing puzzles in the first place? Well, every puzzle you do, whether in the Vault of Tartarus or on the outside to unlock chests or doing jigsaw puzzles, gets you some form of a resource. Most of the time, the end resource is a chest you unlock for more resources to upgrade stuff with, or a different visual, or a straight up weapon or body armor, or the resource is just as simple as an ingredient to upgrade your stamina, health, or whatever it may be. Now, puzzles aren't the absolutely only way to get stuff in this game to upgrade. You also have things like the Hermes sprint to the golden light in like 30 seconds. You have to beat the time limit. I always thought that was good. You have the arrow challenge where you use Apollo's arrow to shoot through the hoops in one shot, and if you get it, you get coins. So, there's a good stuff to do here in the open world, honestly. Now, I've talked a lot about resources and ingredients and upgrading and gods and stuff like that. So what does this all circle back to? It circles back to the main hub area of the world, the open world, I would say, the Hall of the Gods. And this is truly one of my favorite places in gaming. It is and games these days really don't take that many chances. If there's not guaranteed money in the development, games usually don't take that chances. And it's not just gaming, things nowadays are just sequels or remakes. And while I am talking about the Hall of the Gods, I will say as a whole, Immortals Fenyx Rising, every single area in this game has a unique personality, character, charm to it that I really never see in games these days, honestly. Everything from the landscape itself down to the most minute detail of even just opening chests. They put the extra mile in, they put that extra little bit of effort in and give you different animations. And it's not like 2 or 3. You have many, many different animations to open chests or get coins or whatever it may be. The extra mile on the presentation side visually is really appreciated here. And there's no better place to showcase all of this game's visual standouts than the Hall of the Gods. One of my favorite things about this game is how the gods were represented visually. It's just, you really feel like you're standing in front of a god with how they're like lit over this giant bonfire and how they're visually, put into the game. And another thing that shines in the Hall of the Gods with the gods is because you're talking to the gods. I just said gods like 10 times. The voice acting really shines here. You're always doing dialogue between the people, and just take a look and take in this whole scene of some of this clips. Every time I was in the Hall of the Gods, I was always in awe. Like, I always spent an extra 5 or 10 minutes here just chilling out, between the music, the dialogue, and everything, how visually it looks stylistically. It's great.
Gods and mortals will work as one. With your guidance, leading us all. Well, if you promised not to tell Ares.
No, stop! I was the boar. I was the boar that killed Adonis.
How could you? My heart is broken into 1,000 pieces!
Aphrodite told me you killed those horrible animals unleashed by Typhon.
Glad you two are talking.
She's something. But she's my sister-in-law, and I love her. Still, that coat she's making, right?
Moving away from the Hall of Gods itself, because that is just a small spot on the map compared to everything else. The map I have absolutely no queries with. I said stylistically it looks good, and hilariously on the back of the cover it says, explore a stylized open world. I do have to say, this game looks like no other game I've played, I gotta be honest. And huge shout out to the, not quantity of cosmetics you can put on your character, but the sheer quality. Now, I say quantity as if it was bad, but I legit had like 10 or 20 of each, whether it be the sword, the axe, the body armor, the helmets, the wings, the skins for Phoenix, the bird. There was always, it's not like, oh, small differences here and small differences there. I actually had trouble picking which cosmetic I wanted because there were so many good ones. And also, you can have any cosmetic you want. Just because there's a super body armor that you want, but you don't like how it looks visually, you can keep that body armor, but change it to look like a different one, which was a huge quality of life thing.
Achilles. Oh fuck, he looks good.
Moving a little bit away from the visual side of things, auditorily, I have nothing but good things to say about this game. I touched on the voice acting. The music in this game is phenomenal. It was always present, and that's because I chose it to be that way. Now you might be thinking, what are you talking about? I gotta say, out of every game I've ever played ever, I've never seen this in an options menu. You can change the frequency of how often soundtracks pop up in the open world, from minimal to normal to high. And I am a huge fan of music in games, so I always chose high. So there was always music like being played while I was in the open world, and that was just like, it's like a cool ass thing. But yeah, between how this game presents itself visually and, you know, auditorily, everything across the board, like menu wise, soundtrack wise, you know, everything from the tiniest detail to the biggest, this game is just completely solid. One of the best presentation games I've seen in a long time.
So it's just the devil roaming the streets.
So for overall impact, my actual opinion on this game, I like this game more than how good it actually is. I can see some small flaws. Too many puzzles could be a thing, because during the last 5 hours, this is a 30-hour game, by the way, which I thought was a perfect length. I'll touch on that later. I can see some small flaws. There's too many puzzles, although they are mandatory for someone who really likes to explore 100% things. I could see you getting a little bit stale about the puzzles, because even I did. During the last about hour, like during that last hour of gameplay, I just skipped some of the puzzles because I was like, I have everything upgraded to max, so I don't need any resources, so there's no point in me doing these puzzles. Combat could have maybe hit that next elite level, could have had an extra upgrade or two somewhere to make it a little bit of a change of gameplay. But for me, I don't mind any of the game's small flaws because of how much good it does. For the 30 hours I played, I was consistently having fun. And for the 30 hours that it is, I thought it was a perfect 30 hours. Game length wise, that is. I felt like right at the point where I started to feel like the game was about to end, and I felt like it's like getting to that point where I feel like I'm at the stale point and it's gonna hit that next level and it needs to hit that like next clutch. I feel like you either end it there or you go into another thing and it's like, here's a new upgrade system and you run it again. But the game ended at a perfect point for me. Immortals Fenyx Rising in a sea of games in the modern era, the remakes, sequels, prequels, and everything else in between. It was a brand new IP. I hope we get a second one, honestly, even though I say talk about sequels, I'll take a second one. And it just has way too much character and personality for me to not fall in love with it. And at the end of the day, this is the funniest game I've ever played as well. I will also give it that title. I legitimately laughed my ass off at some points.
Well, that's the end of Phoenix. Perfectly passable storytelling. I won't lie, there
What?
were moments that dragged, but
Wait,
you
wait, wait,
really
wait.
got me
There's
with
no
that
way. I'm
ending.
like 30 minutes into the
Now,
game.
let's settle up.
Zeus,
Time for
Zeus,
you to
Fun,
help me
Zeus.
against Typhon.
Oh, fuck. Nope, total recovery. Total recovery. Fucking bitch! What the fuck?
Reduced to an easily startled pile of feathers.
Are you sure?
Does a bear poop in the woods? Sorry. Fillet me now. Spare me this shame.
So yeah, jokes aside, I will be giving this game a score 9.2 out of 10. So that's it. Sadly, Immortals Fenyx Rising, it's at an end. I enjoyed every bit of this game. Will they do Immortals Fenyx Rising 2? Hopefully. But for next, I think I'm playing either Life is Strange True Colors or Banjo-Tooie. So I don't know which one I'm going to play between those two. It'll be a toss-up. But for now, I'm your host, Slayer Planet Entertainment, and I wish this video.
I knew I'd need all these fucking potions. God, he's got some cool moves. God damn, man. Let's go. Woo.
And with one final blow, the torment of it.
What is up? I know what you're thinking. You're only here for the bonus Easter egg soundtrack I put in at the end of every video. But did you also know I have a donation page under Buy Me a Coffee? Donate whatever you want to my channel and I'll put half that back to an environmental charity. So that's that. Enjoy the music. Peace out.